A pleasant Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untangle on the Bridge 99 FM. What is that? A modeling pose? 99 FM. Thank you very much for joining us. And Richie, have yourself a wonderful day. And thank you very much for our little conversations. If it's even 2 seconds, we have some nice conversations. Up and go, team. Have a wonderful day, you all. And thank you very much for joining us, you listeners. You know, we do this all for you. So wherever you've joined us, however you've joined us, thanks for joining us. And of course, the Untangled team, we always, you don't know, always have to bless you up in the morning. Okay, so we're ready now to talk to Patricia Cameron. She is live online, and we are so looking forward to this interview. Good morning, Patricia.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Most welcome. All right, before we talk about the Green Flag Charity Program, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your community, you know, the early days.
Sure. Well, I'm living in Montego Bay. I work in Montego Bay. I'm a mother of three. I'm a teacher slash caregiver at a primary school down here. I work in the kindergarten department. I did not grow up in this community. I'm living in a housing scheme now. So, yes, and I'm also a writer and a poet as well.
Oh, you forget that. You left that at the last part.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so you're a teacher, you're a caregiver, and you're
yes,
also a writer and an author. But most of your time is spent as a teacher, caregiver.
definitely. And I focus mostly on charity work. As soon as I leave work, I'm on the road.
What motivated you to even begin charity work?
All right. From the beginning, I've always been a giving person. It's so natural. I'm kind to a fault. So this charity thing came along. I was always giving to persons, my neighbors, whatever needs they have. I would try to meet it. Children, whatever it is. I'm just a humanitarian, naturally. When persons usually big up, oh, you have a kind heart. They used to say, feel like I am happy for the compliment, but I think that should come naturally. Being kind, brothers and sisters, keeper.
I
That's
love that.
me.
I love
Yeah,
that.
that should come natural. It's nothing to like, wow, you're different. That's just me. No, the Green Flag Charity, started last
No,
January.
we're not ready for that yet. We're not ready for that yet. Miss will tell you about that. So hold
All
on a
right.
little bit now. When you say
Mm-hmm.
kind to a fault, I have found, and I don't know if you have found that. You say you just give, which is great. But have
Mm-hmm.
you found that doing charity, it is actually better to channel your gifts through an organization rather to be just left out there as too vulnerable and open?
Most definitely, because I've been taken advantage of because of my kindness. So doing it in this formal way, yes. Persons reach out in a different kind of way because it's a more formal setting.
Exactly. You know, I realized that, and I was told that by, I think it was what you call that group? No, whatever. One of these well-known charitable organizations. A gentleman from that organization actually told me, the Optimist Club. He was saying to me that, Elise, I know that you're doing so and so and so and so, but I think it's better if you channel it through an organ. Of course, he was wanting me to join the Optimist Club, but I mean, but I got the point. I got the point that he made, and that's why I mentioned it to you because it is indeed a valid point. So
Um,
so tell us a little bit now about the Green Flag Charity Program. How did it start?
Most definitely. Well, it started last year, January. I wasn't planned. It wasn't planned at all. I was doing some business in an upscale community here in my base. I was just driving past. I saw this old man sitting on a rock, his eyes following me. I didn't think much of it. I just waved to him. Like 2 weeks after, I was passing the same community. I saw him sitting on this in the same spot. So I got the impulse to stop. That's just me and ask him, I pass you here some time ago and then I passed you here at the same spot. What's up with you? Where are you from? And he told me that that's where he stays, right there on the roadside. And trust me, Elise, it tugged at my heart. I say, really? And he said, yes, he used to sleep in an abandoned building. And they're running from here. So he basically sleep under the tree anywhere he can lay his head. And he's in his 70s. His name is Mr. Trevor Trout. So I said to myself, no, man, this man has to get a place to stay. But knowing me, my resources, I said, no, I'm going to need help. And that's the birth of the Green Flag Charity Program. I said, you know what, let me do this thing for Let me start a charity. And the name Green Flag just came in my mind immediately. because I love green. I love the color green. Not politically
Yeah,
affiliated, I must say.
me did just was going to ask you.
No, no,
But
far from it. And green for me means growth and positivity.
love
And the
that.
flag I want to wave that high because I always promote, even before charity and social media, positivity. We need more positives in this world and especially here in Jamaica.
Have you found, Patricia, that, and I know you talked to this gentleman, and I'm sure you've spoken to many people who are homeless or
Yes.
just people generally. Have you found, speaking to some of these people, that you are actually surprised to hear their story and to realize that a lot of these people are professional people or were professional people who just fell on bad times?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Sometimes when I hear their story, well, guess what? Let me back up a bit. As much as we're not here to speak about me, really, I have had a really colorful past, so I can also relate to these persons. I've hit rock bottom. I know it is. I'm not ashamed to say it because it's like a testimony because I have risen from, and I'm still going through, but I have come a far way. So I can relate to a lot of them. I'm not just
Yes.
sympathetic, I'm empathetic as well.
I hear you loud and clear. And for those of us who have not had life easy, we
Mm-hmm.
understand that there's many, there's many a slip between the cup and the lips. Things
Ah,
just
exactly.
happen.
Things happen. And they
Yes.
get a lot of criticism, persons say, oh, you're helping that person, and I knew when he was on top, and I don't really watch that. I'm not here to condemn or judge. We're just here to help the best way we can.
Just like that. It was sometime about 2 weeks ago, my colleague and I, Nikki Z, were talking and just
Mm-hmm.
talking about wanting to interview someone and being, discouraged from interviewing that person because of whatever reasons, right? And it
Yes,
just, we had a good conversation because what people need to realize is that whatever the reason is that you figure that we shouldn't be talking to this person is exactly why we should.
exactly. We give them hope. We give them a sense of hope. They're like, forgotten, vulnerable in society. I call them invisible ones in plain sight. Because people just give up on them, write them off. No, that's not our thing. Our thing is not just to give material, but to give them hope as well.
Right. Okay. So the Green Flag Charity Program channels who particularly?
The elderly, disabled, and children. If a young person has a unique story, or we will reach out to that person as well. But mostly elderly who can help themselves, disabled, and not like someone has a lot of children, we give them food supplies, stuff like that.
Okay. And where you get your funding or your assistance from? Because I know it's not easy for.
It's not, the need is great, but the resources are limited. What I do, I use social media handles to get donors. I just put their story, ask permission, of course, if I can put their photograph up there and put their story and persons reach out. That's basically how we do it right now.
Okay. And is it working?
It has been working, I should say, because from last year, I should say, Mr. Trevor Chout is now in a home. He's living from
Wonderful.
someone took him in, see my program and took him in. Another young man was abused. He grew up in a home. He's 18, so I had to leave the home. He was on the street, all around his street at the hospital. He's also living somewhere, Someone is paying for him every month, and he's in a little, handy work. Yes. And we get groceries and stuff. Not a lot, but what we get, we always say little is much when God is in it. We have helped many persons all over. We have recipients as far as Trelawney. We
Right.
go to our parishes in Western Jamaica, Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland.
Well, when you say that the gentleman and the other one is now in a home, who provides this home and how do you actually keep him fed and clean and that kind of thing?
In the case of Mr. Trevor, the elderly gentleman, it was all right. His story is interesting. Let me just put it in a nutshell.
Yes.
When I keep reposting because I repost a lot because maybe some person won't see it today, they may see it tomorrow. Anyway, this gentleman saw it and said, "OMG, that's his childhood friend." Both of them used
Oh,
to sell coal when they were like 15, 13, 15 years to 15 years old. And the man was very high complexion, and he said they used to be black when you look at them. So they came from humble beginnings. But both paths, they had two different paths. Mr. Trevor ended up on the street, and the other man is very successful. So he took him in his family, we feed him, clothe him. We still bring I bought little stuff for him, like food and pampers, but the man said he's well taken care of. However, the man is migrating, so he built up a little place in the country where Mr. Trevor and that gentleman is from, called Mount Horeb. And Mr. Trevor has a neat little house there now for his own. I went
wow.
to look for him the other day.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a very interesting story. So a
Yes.
lot of what you do really depends on the kindness of others, and that's
Oh,
probably
yes.
why you said, I mean, what is the big deal if you're kind? We need to be kind.
I think it should be something that's natural, but in reality, it's not.
What are some of the issues or the obstacles that you face being humanitarian enough to have a charity program?
At first, persons were very negative. Oh, you want the money? All these churches just money them want. Or the recipients themselves. Oh, I don't want my picture up there. Very embarrassing. So we try to go around that. We still help them, but we try to get as much photos as possible because the donors want us to be accountable. The naysayers now, since my charity is gone over a year, they kind of change their tune because they see that it's not all about money. I really don't ask for money on my post. If you want to, it's up to you to volunteer program. What we do, we get things, clothing. I always ask for clothing, food. Number one thing: food, clothing, shoes, toiletries, school supplies, pampers, adult children, stuff like that. And persons, when they will give me a call or inbox me, whatever the case may be, because we're on all social media platforms. Only Twitter, I'm not on as yet.
I'm going to
So,
ask you
yes,
about your social media platforms in a
yes,
while, but I'm
yes.
sure you don't do this alone. Do you have any helpers with you?
Oh, yes, I have a team. Two colleagues of mine, and just some other persons, my niece included, who said, yes, yes, what you're doing, we want to be a part of it. This is what we want to see. So I have a team of six. Two jobs recently. On Easter Monday, I should say we did our first street people feeding project, and it was very successful this Easter Monday gone. Feed
Bless
street
him.
persons and homeless around Montego Bay, and it was a success.
I'm probably looking at your team here now on the monitor, and we just
Ah,
want we just want to bless them. The
thank
space
you.
that you're from, or not from, but the space that you work from,
Uh-huh.
is kind of known to have an issue with street people,
Uh-huh.
Montego Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find this to be so? And if it is so, what is the government, particularly to the best of your knowledge, doing to help eliminate some of the homelessness?
I don't know if I can speak for the government because I've been seeing them on the streets and I have not seen the numbers reduced. I've even seen more. So I don't know. I only tell you what I am seeing, Elise. The numbers have increased. Poor relief and so we'll see them sometime. But some of the streets we went on Monday, they say they haven't gotten anything. Some say for 2 days, 3 days. They got 2 boxes of food, some three because they were so hungry. So a lot more needs to be done, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're closing off now, but before we close off, for
Mm-hmm.
those of us listening, what would you like to say to them in terms of helping, doing your part, making it easier for those who are helping, making it easier for those who are suffering?
With an organization like mine, well, we need the support, we need the donors. But I'm saying on a broader scale, persons just need to have a more um, humanitarian spirit. Be your brothers and sisters keepers. It's not all about them. You don't have to be rich to reach out to someone. There are persons that are in need. Since I've been doing this, I've been getting so many phone calls, but the resources are so limited. Our aim is to be the change by making a difference one life at a time. And our motto is the voice of the voiceless. I'm encouraging adults to be an example for the younger youth, to give back, not stop promoting this negativity on social media and all around, and do things like this. Give back to the less fortunate. Let this be a better, start by looking at the man in the mirror, and let this be a better country by starting in your community so it will spread.
Well
Island-wide.
said. Very well said. And finally, your social media contacts. You care to share that with us?
Definitely, most definitely. I have my charity number. It's I can't Miss Cameron at 1-876-886-0729. We're on Facebook. We have the Green Flag Charity page on Facebook. Also on Instagram, green.flag_charity. You can get me, inbox me, call me, whatever it is. I will answer the calls timely and get back to the messages as quick as possible.
Okay, thank you very much, Patricia Cameron. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you very much for doing the work that you do through the Green Flag Charity Program. And we certainly hope it grows from strength to strength and you can do your part in helping to eliminate homelessness anywhere it is. Okay, it's now 11:33. Thank you very much.
Elise,
Yes,
one
Patricia.
thing. I'm honored to be on your show. This is like a defining moment for me. So thank you. I've always wanted to speak to you. I've met you in person, but I feel blessed. Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that's Patricia Cameron, founder of the Green Flag Charity Program in St. James. And this lady really has a passion for the less fortunate, and she does it, from her heart. And as you heard her say, she encourages the rest of us to just have a heart, because that's where it all starts. You know what I mean? We're going to take a break. We'll soon come. Beauregard, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mama Kelly. How you doing?
I am very well. How are you?
Things are going great here. I don't want to say hangover. It's just a little cloudy here in New York City. Same way. Yesterday was a big 420 celebration in the United States of America and certain other places around the world. 420 is a celebration of marijuana.
Yes.
So, yeah, big up to all the folks who were indulging yesterday, and all the ganja smokers, all the herbalists, ganja man or woman, weed babies, whatever the names they gave to them.
Weeded.
Weeded.
I saw a commercial somewhere in Jamaica advertising for those who want to have a weed marriage. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. What
How that one the word
We
now?
don't know. I'm going to find out and make you know.
Weed marriage.
Yes, my dear. We don't know. But apparently the venue is conducive to weed. And whatever else, but that would, I would think though that the use of hemp to make the clothing for the wedding and that kind of thing would be ingenious. That would be nice.
It's just great to see how the world is actually coming to see the true benefits of the marijuana plant. For all my life I've been calling it the world plant. I know that God put this here for the benefits of many people, and for those who have found out in early in their lives, big up yourselves, and for those who have been demonized and locked up and ridiculed and many things when it comes to marijuana. It's good that the world is now truly starting to see the true benefits of the plant.
Absolutely.
As you just mentioned in the hemp.
Can I tell you something? There's a friend of mine who has some medical issues, right? And as a result of some of the issues, she has some pain. And her doctor, she's in the United States, and her doctor, a reputable doctor, put her on medical marijuana. This is someone who is quite familiar with marijuana, right? So she says every time she goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Are you taking the marijuana?" She's like, yes. Oh yes.
That's one medication you're not going to miss.
The antibiotics, not so much. But
Yeah, man. I mean, even down to the CBD products, there's many ways in which, it's benefiting a lot of people and it's helping a lot of people with their health and to relax a lot of people also,
Yes.
Whatever the case may be.
Yes.
Aches and pains, stress and anxiety and things of that nature, it's really helping.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's helping more than some other prescribed drugs. And a lot of people are actually having this conversation with their doctors. The medication that you've put me on is not working, but I know something that will work.
Right.
Put me on it.
Yeah, man. That is a good thing. Good thing. So it was a huge celebration for many people, and hope everybody all right and everybody good. Also, yesterday was Stephen Marley's birthday.
It's yesterday or it's today? It's yesterday. Oh,
Yeah.
I've been saying today. My corrections.
Yes.
It's yesterday, yeah.
Happy belated.
Yes, happy belated, Raga.
Today is the the 56th anniversary of the visit of His Majesty to our island. Yeah, man.
Came in 1966. That's before you. Nobody smile long before you buy. Long before you buy.
But you know what I would like to ask you, Mama Kelly, since we have on the topic and speaking of it, what are your memories? What are your recollections about that day back in 1966 when His Majesty visited the island?
All right. In 1966, I was pretty young. But that we grew up in Harbour View. So that space, we would see a lot of the dignitaries that are coming from the airport. So we would always try and get a glimpse of the dignitaries coming from the airport. And I remember my dad I remember my dad taking us to a point where we could actually see the procession. I don't remember seeing the king, to be honest with you. I was just too short, and there were just too many, there's just too many people there. But my most vivid recollections of that day,
What's that?
Harborview is close to 9 Miles, Bull Bay, that area, and that is where a lot of the Bobo Shanti Rastafarians actually hail from, because there's the up of the hill where where the Bobo Shanti them actually live, and those days Bobo Shanti them was very resourceful people, They used to have the truck, and speaking of Baba Shanti, we used to have the truck, and them used to have this truck mark INRI, and they came out in their thousands. So my most vivid recollection is not seeing the emperor, because I don't think I saw him. My most vivid recollection is the unity amongst all the races, but particularly the Bobo Shanti races, because of the proximity of where their territory is. They came out, boy, and they came out with families and babies and wives, and that as a child I just never knew that existed, and that was the biggest thing for me as a little girl, looking back on that. Just they came out in their the regala and their high school and green, and it was amazing.
Nice. And the vibe and the energy was just of love.
Yes, and talk about chalice. Whoa, yo. I wanted to say that with my father leave, him him depon. Okay, now it's time to leave. Too much ganja smoking is going on. So him whisked me away very quickly. But by then we had already, had a wonderful day. I'm seeing a lot. Yeah.
Nice. I was looking at the information on his visit, and I saw that that was when they actually broke ground also on the Haile Selassie High School.
Yes. Yeah. We can't talk about it without remembering Ras Mortimer Plano, because Ras Mortimer Plano was actually the one who was chosen to quiet the crowd, because you remember the crowd was thick, and it thick, particularly of Rastafarians, and they were just, oh my goodness, can you imagine how excited they were? And I remember that Plano was the Ras chosen to quiet the crowd, and he's remembered for that. So he's not alive.
How did he go about doing that?
He just went on the microphone and said whatever he had to say, if my memory serves me well. And because he's a Ras, he could really appeal to, a government official couldn't do that. You know what I mean? The government official can't tell Rasta to quiet and Haile Selassie there. Quiet, go away. We're quiet long enough, sake of you. So, so you don't know. It would have taken another Ras like themselves, and he did it. And it is said, I don't know how true this is, but it is said that he was actually chosen to do so by the emperor. I'm not sure if that's the truth or what, but he was chosen, however, and he's remembered for that. Kumi, wherever you are in Zion, we remember you for so many wonderful things, and that's one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, like you said, I wasn't even born yet. I don't think I was thought of yet.
No, sir. Because I know you're just about, you're just, although you have so much argument, you is my children, them age, you didn't know that. Yes. So anytime me talk to you, me just remember my pick them and say, nah, sir, boy, I don't know nothing about that all day. Nothing about that. Nothing about that. Yes. And so me know, so you never even thought of yet.
No, not yet.
But the memories, you can appreciate all of what happened.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Tomorrow is Earth Day, though, Mama Kelly. It's a day to where everybody should be thinking of the earth and the environment in which we live, and how we take care of it and its protection. So tomorrow is going to be Earth Day. So to all the people out there, continue to take care of the earth. Do what you need to do. People are concerned about climate changes and things of that nature. So we really have to truly watch how we move forward in the future, because we have to leave the earth to our kids.
Exactly. You know, there's one thing that I always remember. I remember always you make the open nice one. So I remember a sister of mine, Askale, Yvonne Griffiths, we call her Askale. She's a very curious Rasta woman, and I remember her saying, because Kumi had a lot of interactions with Her Majesty, and I remember her telling me once that she asked Mortimer Plano if there's anything that he remembers particularly about His Imperial Majesty, conversations. And one thing that struck me, I always remember, Sister Yvonne said that Mortimer Plano told her that in one of her conversations with the Majesty says he loved people who love people. And I have never forgotten that. Whether I am quoting him right or wrong, me good with the right or the wrong, me just know say me I run with that.
Yeah.
Him love. Yes. And nobody can stop that.
If you're not going to say it, go
yeah,
say it.
me say it, go so. You understand me? You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, right.
So him love people who love people. And that is such a wonderful thing, to love people. Yeah. So that I remember.
And in speaking of people loving people, what do you think of the Biden administration announcing that they are sending $800 million in military aid to Ukraine? Military aid.
I don't know if you think about that. I just wish there was no war.
Exactly.
I just that
Exactly.
me really, what I mean? I don't really know the details of a war. I know more about peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean, they should be trying to find more ways
of
to end
ending the war.
Yeah, instead of pushing the war, with the military aid.
War is a multi-billion-dollar business, so it's every time you hear them and those that talk about them war and them selling up the guns and them buying up, it's always a business. So when me forgot say no to Biden, no, nice, nice man. You send more people, gun for kill more people, very nice.
One of the things about this war, Mama Kelly, is just showing a lot of double standards that are taking place when it comes to helping of refugees, and people trying to flee these zones. We see over the years where, people of our complexion, black and brown people, and even Muslims, trying to get away from certain areas, and they weren't offered the same hospitality as these people coming from Ukraine in this particular war. Right now in Europe, they're offering them jobs and free health care and citizenship and all type of things in the new countries that they're going to. And our people, them come to the border and them run them with on horse and whip them and all kind
Long
of things.
time that I go on. It's just like when the Haitians trying to seek refuge somewhere else, them turn them back all the while. But there are some Cubans, based on how them look, that them take them in when them are seek refuge. So a lot of it is just prejudice, and sometimes we never want to.
It's a big thing right now in France, and it's picking up steam as to how they're dealing with the refugees versus people of our complexion.
Yeah, I hear. There's so much I could say, but it's just that, yeah.
I mean, we want to see everybody helped and everybody all right, and like you said, we wish there was no war and people were, where they are and just going through their lives normally like they were before the war. But the evidence is there as to how, the double standard of treatment with the same exact situation.
Yes, absolutely. Jimmy Cliff has a song and an album that I don't think he has released, but I have a copy of the album. And next week I'll play that song that he does, Refugee. And just in the song, he's just suggesting that people seeking refugee status goes way back from biblical times. It's nothing new, and it will always be. So we really have to be more open-hearted about people who seek refuge. Anyway,
Movement of Jah people.
Movement of Jah people. Movement of the people. Remember anyway, we're going to take a break for Van Flip.
We'll be right back.
All right. Thank you very much. If you've just joined us, you are right inside of our interview with Jahdon. Before we go on to that, though, I just asked Jahdon if he could just allow us to do this, and I'm sure he will. I got a text a while ago, Beauregard, from Dr. Jelani Nair. Now, Dr. Jelani Nair is a lecturer at the University of the West Indies on cultural and Rastafari studies.
Yes.
And the conversation that we had a while ago, he said it is true. And he says he was left out of the official, he meaning Brother Kumi, Mortimer Plano, was left out of the official reception. He says he was far off in the waving gallery and was lifted by the people and taken to the plain steps, carried on their hands. He had no voice. I remember that he was hoarse. He had no voice. He had surgery on his throat days before. He told His Majesty he had no voice, and His Majesty took his hand and squeezed it and spoke, and he spoke loudly after that. That's a story that the Rastafarian community repeats all the time, and this is a story that this is a truth from Mortimer Plano. And actually, what Jalan Inaya says, Dr. Jalan Inaya says, newspaper described him, Plano, as prime minister for a day based on his taking control. Plano argued that the trip was to show the world Rastafari as his children, in whom he was well pleased, and gave them medals for his works. And he reminded me of all those, including Plano, who got a medal from His Imperial Majesty. Thank you so very much for that, Dr. Jalan Inaya. Thanks for listening, and thanks for always participating and steering my thoughts in the right direction, just in case it's going off.
Nice.
So that's a bit of truth there from the lecturer, a lecturer on campus, cultural and Rastafari studies. So
Thank you.
we have live inside of the studio, Jahdon. Welcome.
Look, I know.
So look,
Look, I know.
So you know that we are actually streaming live as we speak. So Beauregard is the co-host, so he has his questions that he's going to be asking you, right?
Greetings, Jahdon.
Blessings, bro.
All right.
Greetings.
Up, brother.
Call him Killa Boo.
Is our next name that me just getting a
What? No, where does call him?
I said, bro.
Oh,
Him say
Boo.
Buru.
That is that name you have it, you?
No, not really.
Oh, Boo.
But you can't say Killa Boo.
You can
Oh,
say
Killa Boo.
Yeah, Killa Boo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
All right. So you are originally from Clarendon.
Yes,
Canaan
Clarendon,
Heights?
Canaan Heights.
Canaan Heights in Clarendon, right?
Broomland.
All right. What was growing up in Clarendon like, and who were the people who you were listening to at that time?
Musically?
Yes.
Well, growing up in Clarendon, Canaan Heights is a music town. Like, trust me, like everybody have the music, you know. So we're growing up hearing Syntax every Sunday. Syntax I play. My uncle I keep stage show. General Scotty I keep film stage show down the road. So it's like, you know what I mean, as a youth we play football. Every day we play football. From 12 o'clock we play football in the sun. You know, go on a river, go and catch fish, swim, you know, cut Kalaluka river, the river the right. You have to cross the river if you go in at the town. You know what I mean? So, and them plant Kalalu. So it's like, every day we have food. We have to find, sometimes we don't have to find nothing, you know what I mean? Because breadfruit upon tree. So growing up, it was always just having fun.
Water run.
You know? Yeah, every day.
Yes.
Every day.
So you cook callaloo and roast breadfruit and them something.
Every day.
You make me water.
Every day.
So who were your musical favorites at the time?
So honestly, them time there as a youth, me just listen music. I think me never did really probably a pre-music. If you have, me just love music. You know, I just love music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Michael Jackson as a youth, me love Michael Jackson. Probably all my perform and all of them things. But growing up, me start listen music. Start listening definitely Peter Tosh. You know, fit me definitely rebel attitude. You know what I mean. Bob Marley, love Bob Marley because I'm legacy. When me see him, me say yes, me like that's something there. You know what I mean? That makes sense, and the music make sense. You know what I mean? When him stand for, you know what I mean? So definitely Bob Andy, I just love Bob Bob Andy. Reason I know him do him thing. You know what I mean? So trust me, everybody. I think everybody have. Everybody, I just love music.
You love the fraternity. You love the whole.
Man.
Yes,
yeah, man. Where it forward from and to
yes.
it is. You know, right now it can be better, but we love what I go on.
Same, sir.
Tell us about where you went to school.
Oh, I went to school. I go to Azad Primary School. From primary school, I went to Bustamante High School.
Okay, where's that?
in Lioneltown in Clarendon.
Clarendon. Okay, so you went to school in Clarendon.
Yeah, in Clarendon.
All right. So let us talk a little bit before we talk about the music, about your entrepreneurial skills, because I know that you realized your entrepreneurial skills at a very early age, and this is what helped you to actually master it now in your adult life. And I'm going to show you these. Look at these. These are broom. See the bubble shanty with the broom. See there? So Jahdon just brought these to me, and these are brooms that you created.
Yes, that I unbuilt by my, because in my community, Canaanites is a broom land. You know what I mean? Especially when me grow. So as a youth growing, me say my mother know for build broom. Even though them never dad build it and I sell it them time, but mother know for build broom. My uncle them I build broom and I sell. Like everybody around me I build broom. So it was just easy for me for just, you know what I mean, do it. So as a youth, me used to always build my broom, make sure say holiday time, I always have money, man, because
you sell it.
we build the broom and go sell the broom,
Nice.
So growing up, definitely at that mindset, it kind of give me a different level of thinking, entrepreneur mindset, how to make sure say the business side set up. Because as a youth, I build a broom, you have to make sure say when you go sell, you put back down money for go back a bush.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When you say go back a bush, go get something.
If you get the material them, and if you now go to the bush, you have to pay for the material them. To the man them where I go, they have to buy the material from them. So them little things there.
Yeah.
You know what
so
I mean?
you learn from an early age how to sell, how to do business, and how to manage your money.
Yes, balance.
Yes,
and
yes.
as you say, you have to have a good attitude, to people. Because sometimes I want we see out there, and him not really want the broom, and I want no broom at all, But just the fact that him see as a little youth, I try. Him buy half all of the broom.
Yes,
man.
no man. See your way so that go. The attitude is a
Yeah,
wonderful
attitude,
thing.
man.
Even some of the youth them on the street that wiping car glass. It's the one them we can dance a little bit and put a little heart
Trust
on the
me, man. Trust me, man.
It make a big
Natural.
difference.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's
You have a
be
little one.
themself,
Yeah,
man.
man. You have a little one. Him just use the little water thing and just make a heart from the windscreen. And you know, so every time, come in, darling. Come.
You know, Mama Kelly, as a kid, many of us can remember taking a broom and turning it into a microphone, and our imagination just went wild.
All right.
Biggest star on the planet.
Him said that just now, and me just I remember some used to do that.
Yeah, man.
A lot, not even did that thing say mother day or so.
Yeah, man. So you hold the broom like a mic. And
Whole heap of time and I practice, man.
Some bad Michael Jackson
you know,
sing.
me actually have a song called Broom,
yeah.
Cause one of the things to Mama Elise, I released my first debut album called 369 in 2020. And I leave and I go to Florida for say me I go promote the album. But me leave in March when the one bag of
Right in the middle of COVID.
never, everybody that plan ahead. We never did that know so this saga.
Right,
Nothing that happen. So,
right.
you know what I mean? So I was in Florida, I couldn't get to do what we really want to do, go for promote the album 369, so I was there and all over Florida, palm touch everywhere in Florida. I'm like, I tell my brethren them say, no, say that we used to build boom at Jamaica, but me nah say them not believe me, but one day one of the neighbor cut down him palm touch and throw them out. I say, I go on, them a throw out today. We decide so we are go down on the road and I drive go down on the road. Me see a house a bill and me see the same band we use for ban the broom. So me I say, no man, I sign this.
Time to make some broom.
Me decide say, you know what, me I go build 2 broom. Me I go build one for my brethren and one for myself. And I build the 2 broom and some next brethren was there and see the broom bill and they was like, no. At first, them ever see this in their life.
Wow.
Man must say, no, at first, them ever see something like this in their life. So the man, them send up go buy paint same time and paint up, because not it was my idea of even paint it. The man, them send for go buy paint and start.
Painted red, gold, and green.
Red, gold, and green same time.
Oh my goodness! But these are not commercial. These are oi. These are really what you call these now.
Well,
you can't really sweep
like
with
souvenirs.
them. Souvenirs.
Yes.
Souvenirs. Yes.
They are memorabilia.
Yes. Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. So that helped you from a very early age to understand business, to manage your money, and to earn.
Yes.
All right,
definitely.
beautiful. Your time, Beauregard.
Now you've spoken about your broom career, my brother. Big up yourself. And are you still doing the broom thing?
Yes, as me that say, tell the eye them, you know.
Yeah.
The broom, in a sense, when I was in Florida, I build the broom and I take a picture, and it's like people start requests.
So
fans them
you're
start-
selling it?
I wasn't really selling it. From my one request it, I tell them, so then just pay for the shipping, and
Okay.
me send it to them. You know what I mean? So I one would give me what them choose to give. If I'm not choose to give me, no, was just a blessing. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, I did have a song called "Brew Me" when me I promote. So me I say
Okay.
a promotion for
Yes.
get the energy and the message out there. You know what I mean?
So how did you actually begin to sing and entertain? How you got into that?
Well, oh, me get into it. It was always inside of me. I when me really realize, you know, because I was there in church singing, and people I say, yo, give him the mic. I mean, I want the mic. I mean, always shy. You know what I mean? But in my community, I realized very young, say, yes, you know, me have a little sound, because when me I sing around my virgin them, every man I say, yo, you got it, you know, you're tough, you know. So we create a little group called Brothers Fraternity in our community, and that's where I started.
Okay. All right.
Nice. But before, I was going to also ask you, we know of the music career, and we're going to speak more of it. You told us of the broom career, but you also have another career, my brother, cooking career. Let's talk about that, because I think that's a
Cooking.
skill. That is a skill that, you know, I feel that every man should be able to help themselves in the kitchen. And when I say that, and me only can fry plant, my brother.
Where I say?
A plant alone me can fry.
Hold on there.
me miss the part there.
Well, a foreigner grow.
You know, if you ask,
I
I'm
must-
bad at Jamaica, you know.
Left too early.
And I
No,
it's like you
we
know
can't help
what,
ourselves,
boy.
but you see plant na my main thing. Easy 1, 2, 3.
Because you love planting.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
plant.
Yeah, we love planting.
Well, love something else, and you will learn it. It's very easy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's very easy.
So you have a song about cooking too?
Yeah, man. I mean, my music and my life story, you know, mama.
Yes.
Mama, it, like, when me tell people some my music, really, and my life story, probably them not really overstand. But if you go in a kid nights, I'm gonna got really say, yo, I'm life matter about, man. Now, one of the times, I can remember something, one of my uncle never knew so me do music. And me go link him, and me and my reason, and me I play my song them for him. And me have a song named Youths They Are the Future. And when him hear Youths They Are the Future, me see water start run out time here.
Wow.
And he might tell one of my friends, say, a real thing he might talk about in his song, you know. You never know. You know what I mean? So my songs, them really speak about my life. Congo Bongo.
Let's talk
It's
about
a
Congo
real life
Bongo.
story.
Because as you see, the first time I heard Congo Bongo, I was saying to myself, no man, there must be a story behind this song. Tell us about that.
Well, Congo Bongo, the story, I think it was just a simple energy, you know what I mean? I was, a empress tell I, say, she never know she would have talked to a Rastaman, which is me, you know. And I was cooking at that time. I have a little restaurant called Look at Now Music and Food Restaurant. So I was cooking, and in them time that we are listening to Mama Elise Kelly every day, you know, man, because trust me, you're an inspirational person, you know what I mean? Trust me, what you do, Mama, the type of music that you choose to play, Mama, trust me, Mama. Trust me.
So you
So it was,
cook.
we were there listening every day and I cooking, and my energy was, it's like me, I say, yo, I want to do a song with Mama, motor, run. I go, you know, it's like I tell myself every day, you know, here comes my virgin with the rhythm. And when me hear the rhythm, me I say, yo, where you get this rhythm from? So it was just an energy, it's like the rhythm start talk to me. And me remember the empress tell me, say she never see herself talk to a Rasta man. So it's to me, I say, you never know. You would love the Congo Bongo.
You never know. You would have loved the forest.
You never know.
But can I tell you?
But you know,
go ahead.
you know
go
what,
ahead.
Mama? The story to it a challenge the stigmatism where them have monks Rastafari. You know what I mean? You see a person and judge a person. You know what I mean? After you get to know the person, it's like you're in love.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it's not what you see is who you really is.
It's who you are. I say it all the time. It's who you are. I remember the first time I heard it was on a CD with a few more songs, right? And I remember it was Ron who gave me a copy of the CD, and he must say, "Listen to the CD."
I run our motor.
Ron, give me my first, let me hear it first.
Okay.
And I'm here listening to it, and me hear the first tune on it, and then me hear the second tune, and me say, me not gonna further, you know. Me not have no further I go. Because nothing will come after this can't bad like that. So, trust me. So I stopped listening immediately. Me not tell no lie. No disrespect to that song, them with the dip on the CD.
No, I can remember too, you know. Mama, the energy was, you know what I mean? And I try to even that. Trust me, Mama tell me say, yo, that song where you get out with. Even now, cause me don't try to create song for comparison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just do music as we say half of my life story. What me I got you, things that me I got you, me feel. But Congo Bongo is that song, you know.
It is that song. And can I tell you something, Beauregard? It's a good thing that it is so good. But on the other flip side of it, you know as well as I do, Beauregard, that when an artist just come out and get a tune like that, he must go keep up with that, you know.
Yeah, man.
So it's like when me hear Congo Bongo, me I say, Jahdon better know, say, you know. He must keep on the level, say, you know, or higher.
That's why me just want the people listening here is like, for really listen, Jahdon.
Yeah.
For really listen, me come, you know, come with the hype, me come to tell my story. You know, like me honestly come to tell my story. Listen to music them, me try to be as honest as possible within my music them, you know what I mean? And this project I have out called I, you know what I mean? Me have a song called Family Man where I speak about my brand new family, you know what I mean? And featured Dean Fraser, you know what I mean? So Wally Poetic song called I and the album that speak about the love that I have for my empress, you know what I mean? So
amazing.
All of the song them I talk about different chapter of Jahdon. As me always say, it's like Jahdon me is like a ecosystem. You know what I mean? Of different part that come together that make everything, you know.
Can I introduce your wife and your baby? We just want, because we are all seeing them and Beauregard now see them. So we just want come around here, my darling.
Introduce my wife, management.
You know, can I tell you something? Beauregard, I keep talking about his wife because his wife would always, I don't know if it's just his wife at that time, but she would always come with him and represent him. Yes. So because of this new baby now, I keep I keep talking about the wife and the new baby. And a while ago, Jahdon stopped me and him said, Mama, I'm a manager too, you know.
Yeah, man.
And I just love that. I love that so much because, you know, a lot of brethren sometimes feel like, say, it just stop a wife and baby. But he's reminding me that his wife is also an entrepreneur.
Yes, man. Bacchus Entertainment.
Yes, and also responsible for his brand.
Yes, I.
Right. And you know, before we even go to any other title or anything else, I want to say big up the family that I see in front of me. You know, that's a good thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Man, woman, and child. That's what it's all about.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely beautiful. Jahdon has a beautiful wife and the baby beautiful, but me really think say she more favor her father, but me not me not nothing else to say. All right, so we're going to take a break, and then when we come forward, we're going to talk about that, you know, the new company that you formed, your wife's company, and how it is actually promoting your brand.
Okay.
All right. We are live in studio with Jahdon, and of course, we're streaming live to the Tri-State. So I know that Beauregard has a few more questions for you.
Yes. The project that you went to promote back in 2023, 69. Why was it given that name?
3, 6, and 9 are a spiritual number.
Okay.
And I know that I'm a person where me always a search, you know what I mean? A search, you know, for knowledge in every different ways, you know. So I was just searching, and I realized that 3, 6, and 9 are spiritual numbers, and I start study it on a different level. and I realized that it connect with my life. I mean, I said, nah, man, this deep, you know what I mean? So 3, 6, and 9.
What were some of the connections that you saw with your life?
All right, one of the things that how I define 3, 6, and 9 is that I see 3 as a seed, you know what I mean? That you plant, and 6 is that spiral that the tree that grow, you know what I mean? And 9 is where the tree reach to fulfillment, where it produce back seeds where it can manifest back itself again, you know. So it's like 3, 6, and 9 is a energy, is a code that life manifests within, you know what I mean? Everything on earth manifests through 3, 6, and 9.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
All right. So let's talk business now. So you have done Congo Bongo. I'm sure Congo Bongo has taken your career to another level. And in the same breath, you have a new company. Tell us what motivated you, because Congo Bongo wasn't on your label, was it?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yes.
Oh, it was.
Yes, because all right. What really happened still, but Congo Bongo wasn't. The work never did that do properly. As you say, Congo Bongo was not on my label, but the work never did that do properly. But as a youth, I come into the business with the mindset to learn, you know, and I realized that certain things never did right within papers, and I feel say everything did right, you know, and I realized that nothing never right. So my next move, when me believe Congo Bongo, when you play Congo Bongo, now, so when you get Congo Bongo and I play Congo Bongo not officially released, you know? No.
It was
so,
just on a CD.
Just on a CD. So when me I realize all of these things. So the person them was in control, me come say all right, and me go ahead, because the producer the person who built the rhythm at that time was me. It was in dialogue with him, and I mean I was the one who go to studio, who get the rhythm, all of these things. So me, it was from me that I create everything, you know what I mean? So I just create my label and just start do all of the work, because I did mindful of what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have the right person, Bacchus Entertainment, around me.
Right. So having done that now, you streamline your thing in such a way that when this thing sell or whatever happens, you actually earn.
Yeah, man. To Look Now Entertainment, which is my
Look Now. So let's talk a little bit about Look Now Entertainment. Why that name?
Look Now. It's my slang. My tag. I really want to call him a tag, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, man. So as a youth, growing up in the ghetto, me always did that. Want something more, me I say, when time I say it, people recognize you are Jahdon, you know? So come up with this, Look You Now, and everybody love it, you know? So from this, but what Look You Now mean to me is paying attention. And anytime I say Look You Now, people pay attention.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Pay attention, Jahdon is here. Message.
I hear you. You know, when I first met you, you would always come with your wife. I'm not sure if she was your wife then, but you would always come with this empress. And now she's your wife and mother of your child.
Yes, sir.
Or at least one of them. So
only one so far.
only
Yeah, she's the first.
darling.
And she born upon the first.
And that's beautiful. What I love is that you have included your family in your career. And that way, it might sound materialistic, but that's okay. The money staying at the family.
Well, if a man want to preach materialistic or anylistic or we want to preach, you know what I mean? I pray things that make sense to me, you know. And if it don't make any sense, no, I'm not going to work with it, you know. So I follow the teachings of His Imperial Majesty and a king and queen levels me see him deal with, you know, that compatible energy amongst him and him Empress, you know
absolutely.
What I mean? So we couldn't go no different way.
So Bacchus Entertainment Services Limited is your wife's company.
Yes, it is.
And Look Now Entertainment is your
yes.
company. And together they're responsible for your brand.
Yes.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
Definitely.
Do you both sometimes disagree on
Every day, man.
direction?
Every day. Me have a song for that. Me have a song.
Direction zone one going with certain things.
Me have a song for that. Pan. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. Arguments in the morning. You're not even say morning.
I think I'm going like that one.
That's the one with the video that you have out now. I think I saw a video that you have out
that
with the Empress at the
man.
beginning, and you ask her why her face
What is
bent
the
up so.
problem? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Man.
Okay.
That's one,
Beautiful.
here we go. And video out for Broomy too, you know, so the one them check out Broomy, and cooking video out for cooking too, like Love Wise, you know.
We're looking forward to getting copies of these new songs. I know that Francine has sent them to Vaughn.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And is there any other question you want to ask before we seal up Beauregard?
Well, what can we look forward to from Jahdon in the next couple of months and going forward?
Well, just look forward for I promote this this album called I don't want them see it today if them can see it.
Them can see it.
Yeah, man. Look
And
forward
where can people go to follow you to see when you release new music and things like that?
Well, on Instagram, Jahdon369, on Twitter, Jahdon, Facebook, Jahdon. Go over YouTube to go subscribe and like up the thing, Jahdon CM, you know, JAHDON. No, everything come on.
Everything come on. All right. All right, fine. All right, this was a wonderful interview. And I'm really happy that we could actually get a chance to talk to you. I know he insisted, Beauregard, that I wait. Because we wanted to do the interview before, but he insisted that we wait until him come home, that him can come into the studio.
Yes,
and it
sir.
does
Yes,
make
sir.
sense.
Yes,
so I'm
sir.
looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to listening to other works that you have. Because, Broomy. And me glad, me thank you for put on my broom, please. I'm thank you. Thank you for your broom. So we're going.
Before you go, Jahdon, you have any broom quotes that you want to share with me? Because I know one from me I grew up all my life, you know. The
Broom
old
quotes?
Yeah. The new broom sweep clean, but the old broom know the corner them. You have any quotes that you own?
No, I don't have. My quote is, I'm not afraid to say I'm a broom man.
See?
The place where I'm born and grow, it's a broomland.
Yeah.
Maple Canaanites in Clarendon, I was taught that trade. See it, you never know I a trade man thing ancient. Broomy, 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 broomy. Me have them in a house and yard. House and yard. Heights green and hey.
Yo, we need a copy.
Broomy, broomy.
So we're running out of time. Oh, that's it. So is a title track for your CD, Broomy? That's the title track?
The title track is called I.
Oh, I.
Yeah.
All right. So we're running out of time now, so we have to seal up, but we're looking forward to getting the CD. I know Francine will be on that, and I know Vaughn has it, so we're looking forward to that. And just want to say thank you very much for coming live inside the studio. Thank you very much for sharing your beautiful family with us.
No love.
Nice. And you don't know. You know the
No love to the whole bridge, you know? The bridge. Empress.
The bridge. And Irish Jam Radio.